Hello, movie lovers, and welcome to my movie review for Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. Now, this is a movie that takes place 70 years before the events of Harry Potter. Now, this is actually going to be a different story. I believe that these other movies that are going to be taking place is going to be the rise of Voldemort, and it's actually going to continue off the story where we had all the other Harry Potter movies. But with that being said, this movie is a very different movie. This is a very different tone. We actually get to see something very different, and that direction is from David Yates, who made the other Harry Potter movies. Now, with that being said, with the different tone and everything, with everything that's going on in this movie, I felt like, you know, felt like that it was the return of the Harry Potter world. But I also felt like some things were actually missing in this movie. But I'm going to get to my negatives later on. But okay, so we have Eddie Redmayne, who is this guy who collects these beasts and everything, and he puts them in a briefcase. And this Muggle, who's actually called the No Man, in this world because of the fact that it's taking place in New York rather than in England. And so the dialogue is different. We actually have that going on, and then we also have a couple of other things that are happening. Now, I like these two characters together. I actually liked having these two characters together because I can actually feel the chemistry between Eddie Redmayne and also Dan Folger. I also didn't feel like he was a too cartoony of a character. I actually liked the chemistry between them. I actually felt the emotional attachment to that character, which is something that I actually cared about. I cared about those two characters. But the other thing that I didn't like was I didn't like the actress that was playing the detective role in this whole entire thing, arresting him or anything like that, because of the fact that I found her annoying through this whole entire movie, where I couldn't even really care about her character too much or anything that was going on with her. But still, other than that, I actually liked that, and I didn't like that much. But also, like Colin Farrell's character, I actually felt like he actually helped the movie in a way that it needed to be helped. I actually felt like he was a good villain for this role, for this movie, and I also felt like too that whenever he was on the screen, Colin Farrell actually shined through this whole entire thing. And then there was actually some parts that was actually pretty good, some parts that were actually pretty wonky, some parts that I actually felt like, okay, I didn't really need to know that. I didn't really need to know anything. But the main pet peeve that I have about this movie is the fact that they're giving this new character. They don't give us an origin of that character. The name of the title is very misleading in my own perspective, anyways, because of the fact that we don't actually get to see him go out and actually catch these beasts. Instead, they're already caught, and he's just having to re-catch them again, just like seeing a Goosebumps movie where they have to actually get those characters back in the book again, and then we also have to try and get that going on. But with this movie, too, you're actually seeing that same exact thing, and I just didn't feel like that was something that I really wanted to see from this, because I really wanted him to go hunting for these beasts, and I didn't get that. I was totally let down, but I get the fact that there's going to be 5 more movies of this, but still, the book is very small. So what more can they do with this is what I want to know, unless they, like I said, unless they actually incorporate Voldemort into um, into the storyline later on to actually add in that little Harry Potter flavor at the end of this franchise. That's the only way that they're actually going to make this thing work, I think. But the visual effects for this movie wasn't that great. It wasn't the strongest. I also felt like, too, that they didn't need to actually have a 3D movie for this type of thing, because number one, you didn't have a lot of magic going on in this movie at all, at least in my understanding. And even the monsters didn't even look, even the beast didn't even look that great to me. To me, I thought it looked like it was a teaser trailer that I was watching, and it didn't feel like the effects were done in my own perspective. That's just me in my opinion, though. I mean, hey, that's up to you to decide. But for me personally, I didn't care for that because I actually felt kind of let down with that. Then I also have to go into the whole entire Johnny Depp thing. I was excited to hear about Johnny Depp being in the Fantastic Beasts Part 2. But, and he was also going to get a cameo, and I was excited about that. But I was wondering how they were going to actually put Johnny Depp into the cameo, how they were actually going to set that up. And once we actually got that, I was let down big time because I felt like the studios jumped the gun by announcing the fact that there was actually going to be another Fantastic Beasts movie, and therefore they didn't even bothered to even look into how much this movie was actually going to track before they actually made the announcement that they were going to make another movie. And then they actually put Johnny Depp's name onto it to actually tell us, hey, look, come on over here. Johnny Depp's going to be in this movie, and maybe that might actually sell the movie too. But the way that they gave us Johnny Depp was like watching a Scooby-Doo episode. And what I mean by that is you're going to have to watch the movie in its entirety to understand where I'm coming from with that. Because I felt like it was just badly done for that cameo. I felt like whenever his cameo was time for his cameo, I didn't feel no excitement for that thing at all, because I was waiting for it, and when it happened, it was there, and I was disappointed. To me, they should have went on ahead and waited to do that, because what that does is it builds up excitement for your next movie. It builds up the fact, hey, Johnny Depp is going to be in the next one. All the fanboys, all the fangirls are going to be woohooing about this, actually giving it hype. And then after that, you actually get to cover the story of everybody being excited about Johnny Depp being in the next movie. And you don't get that with this. And with that, I know that I'm speaking kind of negatively about this, but that's just how I'm seeing this. I mean, I'm trying to be as positive as I can about this thing, and I'm just going to give you my honest opinion. I mean, I just didn't care for it. I think maybe because I had high expectations for it, and because those expectations weren't met, it kind of went down. I have to say this. Eddie Redmayne was actually one of the best things about this movie. So was the other guy that I was telling you about, Kevin Folger. He did a very good job, and Colin Farrell did a good job at what he was doing, and I actually felt like he brought something to it. Ezra Miller did a good job as well. I like Ezra Miller as the person that was actually kind of being bullied by his mother and stuff like that. I actually love that story and everything of that person. And, you know, that's what I liked about it. And as for the negatives and stuff like that, you know, the good doesn't really outweigh the negatives for this movie, in my honest opinion. So therefore, I'm going to have to give this movie a 2.5 out of 5 for the simple fact that the visual effects wasn't that great. The storyline itself was kind of blonky at parts of the movie. You also had the Johnny Depp cameo, which didn't really do much for me. And then you also have the fact that we don't have an origin story for this character. I understand the fact that we actually have 5 more movies to go, but to me, you need to actually set something up with this new character to where we can actually understand him and have some type of attachment towards that character so we can actually care about what's going on in the rest of the movie. But I just didn't care for it. So anyways, tell me what you guys think. Did you like Fantastic Beasts and where to find them? Tell me below. Don't forget to give me the thumbs up button, and don't forget to subscribe. And until next time, bye-bye.